Hi, this is Dr. Frank with the Church of Rational Truth. Today it is Super Bowl Sunday, so we're not going to do a very long lecture, but we're going to talk a little bit about sports and athleticism. I'm not going to go very into detail on morality because it's going to come down to a lot of things that I think would be unrelated to sports. I mean, there are some issues with gambling, with youth sports, where you can talk about, oh, is it moral that we're doing this or that? But I would just say this is more of a things to watch out for with sports and athleticism. Overall, I think they're a good thing. They keep us healthy. It's good for our heart. It's good to get a good amount of cardiovascular exercise, but you have to weigh that against the risks. Not all sports are created equal. We can end up hurting ourselves and actually doing more harms with sports and athleticism if we're not being careful about it. So the biggest thing, sorry, this is going to get more medical than rationalist, but the biggest thing I always warn patients is you have to watch out for your joints. You have to watch out for long-term health issues because you do get a short-term benefit for most sports in cardiovascular improvement, but depending on the sport, you have to watch your joints because and well, joints are one of the big things, but you could also watch out for head injuries. Most sports, especially contact sports, can grind and damage joints, hips, knees, shoulders, anything that is repetitive, anything that is hard, grindy, quick movements. Those can all hurt joints. So, even though it is good to be athletic, enjoy sports, it makes us healthy, it makes us happy, you have to weigh that against the risks of hurting yourself. Not all sports are created equal. I would say the rougher, the more heavy contact sports like football, you have to watch even more carefully because there's a great number of head injuries. There's a lot of chronic damage that comes with it. I got photos back here of playing golf with some former athletes. And even though they're only in their 40s, 50s, 60s, a lot of times their joints are shot. They can barely move. They have difficulty walking. So you have to always watch that. If I'm talking to my patients about, what should I do? What kind of athletics or sport should I do? I always say you want low impact cardiovascular. And I always push people, even though I don't really swim much myself, I wish I swam more. I usually say swimming is one of the best ones because you don't have a lot of pressure on the joints. You're just using muscles. You're not straining your back. You're not straining your knees. And it's really just muscles and heart. Uh, Sometimes walking is okay, but like anything, you can take these to the extreme. If you're walking 50 miles and let's say you're doing uphill, hard shoes, and let's say you're very flat footed striking, you can slowly grind and damage those joints from that. So you always have to kind of look at yourself and go, okay, am I doing this in a nice, healthy manner where I'm trying to protect myself and I'm trying to preserve my body? Or am I doing this in a manner where I'm really slowly doing some damage that's not going to be fully repaired? I focus on joints so much because I really wish more people were told how bad it is to damage joints. Joints can be replaced. We have some medical technology to do that. We can do injections. We can do some things where we shave off uh, damage to the joints. We can do full joint replacements, but they're never the same and they're never as good as they were originally. So, if I were to say something to any young athletes, protect your joints, try to prevent them from being damaged because once it gets damaged, you're never going to fully undo that with the technology we have now. Hopefully, in the future, we'll get better and better and we'll be able to replace joints and it'll be closer to the original parts. But right now we're nowhere near that. And most of the people who I've seen who have gone through joint replacements, they get better, but they never quite get back to that former level of ability. So I would say protect yourself, be mindful. Yes, enjoy sports. Yes, be athletic. Yes, get that good exercise, but always keep in mind what you're doing in the long term. So some old business. I'm switching up, doing at the end of the lecture instead of the beginning of the lecture. We currently have the money to be dispersed. The voting is going to be between like normally going back into the general endowment or going into the church/library fund. So we'll take voting this week, and depending on what votes we get, we will see where that money will be dispersed, and then we'll give an update next week on where that money is going to be going to. That is it for today. I hope everybody has a happy Super Bowl Sunday. Hopefully, it's a good game and no one gets hurt like much in the much in line with this lecture. We will see you all next week with another topic. Have a great day. Bye bye.